We talked about this match. I mean, sometimes you get a little lucky. We were positioning ourselves really well for this match breakout. Here's the intraday chart. I'll show the daily. So we see this macro bull flag. We were positioning ourselves against this 158, and it just set up unbelievably. Where I was buying 160 versus 158, very very tight stop. So that morning, it comes and it pivots off 158. So I can buy all the stock I want, 159.50 versus 158. So $1.50 risk, and then it explodes to the upside. I started selling 168, 169. I got some sells 175, pulled in, and then when it gave another run, I started unloading stock between 170 and 180. So I still have 1/8 of my position. If it gives me the chance to reload, I think this name is just getting started in the long run. I think it's really great setup. I think it'll give us great trading for weeks to come. And then my bad trade was this DraftKings. So DraftKings, we've been talking about this name a lot. Is this a bull flag? I mean, is this a bear flag or is this a base? And it turned out to be a bear flag. So how I traded it, we see this inside day on October 20th right here. So I'll go to an intraday chart now, go to a 15-minute. I got long on the break of the inside day, and it didn't give me any follow-through from when I was in the name. So originally I was giving it to the low of this flag, like 47 or so, but then when it kind of shows me that, I was the incorrect buyer, I was in the money for 5 minutes, and then things starts to pull back and sellers take back control. So when it took out those intraday lows, I got out below 49 here. You see this little red triangle. So I cut my loss a little short there, but you can see how much of the downside I missed out on by understanding that if I'm wrong, I got to be wrong quickly in this name because it's such a drastic inflection point. So I missed out on all this downside, which was good, but I was wrong in the trade thesis. This ended up being a bear flag, so I was wrong, and that happens. That's it for me. What you got up there?
So, again, we've been talking about this Mitch and Bumble lately. So for myself, from a rebalancing standpoint using M1, I just took profits in Etsy today as we have finally retested that prior all-time high in Etsy. From the last time we did like a major rebalancing, where we increased the allocation, Etsy was back in June when it broke out to that 170. And now that it's finally retested this high, 50% higher, I'm taking some profits in this name today. So I'm lowering the allocation and I'm taking those funds and I'm adding them to Bumble. Again, as you mentioned, Shake, gone over a couple times now, the positive news with Bumble. So now it's taking profits from that winner that was near the prior high, like for Etsy, in this area on the chart. And now I'm taking those proceeds and adding them back to Bumble down here with that same goal in mind. I don't know how long it'll take, maybe a year, 2 years, 6 months, who knows, but I'm buying down here near kind of this major support area, position myself for that breakout through 60, and then looking to take profits up through that retest in time. So that's just that bigger kind of rebalancing aspect. That's something I was doing today. On the flip side, on the more costly side, last week definitely was the Snap and Intel earnings. Snap is probably one of my biggest positions that I have at the moment. So this 20% plus gap down definitely was not the funnest thing to be a part of, but just a nature of longer term trading is you're going to be a part of these costlier gap downs from time to time. So they're kind of off the radar for now. Same with Intel. Definitely not fun with that 10% gap down. And then other than that, we had this Vive swing that we got out of last week that looks like it was a decent trade, buying up through that 280, selling in the 320 area, and it's still kind of hovering around that area. And same with the REITs, FRT, taking that trade off for break even. Looks like it's made sense to do. Same with this ESS, as it's still kind of holding underneath that 340 breakout level. So some good stuff with the Etsy and Bumble, some bad stuff with Snap and Intel earnings, and then a couple break-even trades with the REITs and a little profitable swing with Vive.